Welcome to the LAAX Open. Today it's the turn of slopestyle qualifiers in snowboard. We've got both the men's and the women's, and the fields are so stacked. The qualifiers are going to be just like a final. In the men's, the list is ridiculous. Mark McMorris, Sven Thorgren from some of the more senior heads. You got Marcus Kleveland in there, Red Gerard, Tian Collins, last year's Crystal Globe winner, Sean Fitzsimmons, Takaru Otsuka, Hiroaki Kunitaki. The list goes on. Dusty Hendrickson in there as well. Definitely one to watch on the last feature. Super creative. Let's get stuck into the action.
So let's take a look at the course as it stands at the moment. Maddie McCormick in the booth with me. This is, we talked about it, that first rail feature. This is going to be decisive, isn't it?
Exactly. They'd have some basic options here, but there is also opportunity to get a bit more creative.
Now, Woodsy talked about this earlier on. Two rails, you've got to hit them really quick. It's almost about the exit of these, do you think?
Yeah, because you're going to need to carry speed to then get into this first jump that we've got here.
Okay, 17 metres. Doesn't sound that big by jump standards, but you've got a lot of room to work with on that landing.
Yeah, and it also builds good momentum into the second 18-metre jump.
And then the third again. I mean, these are three standard slopestyle kickers, but it's where the meat of the run's going to happen. But the big difference, as we said, will come at the top of those rails and then this feature.
Exactly. This is where the riders will have a bit more space to show their creativity, and it's, you know, going to be a bit more make or break time, you know, with this feature.
Yeah, it feels like a multiplier, doesn't it? If you try and just get through this feature, then the judges are going to see it. If you actually work, put a butter on that pad, get something big off the end of it, then it's really going to make a difference.
Very much like the top feature, there is an opportunity to go safe, but some riders will definitely push out, and that's where we'll see the difference in scores.
Okay, one of the alpha males of the slopestyle world, Mons Roysland, dropping in first.
Taking a bit more of a basic line there top with the 2 on 2 off. This is where he's going to need to carry his speed a little bit more. Half cab on, board slide, pretzel 2.
So smooth, isn't he?
Yeah, always so consistent, Mons. Setting up for his signature switch backside 12. Like it's absolutely nothing.
He made that look so tidy.
Frontside 14 melon.
Oh!
Easy as for Mons.
That landing was so crisp.
He's done them so many times that he can do them in his sleep. Backside 10 a little bit safer for him there. Just trying to
that was LAAX light, wasn't it? Lovely butter though.
Yeah, see, that's what the judges are going to want to see. They need to see these, you know, little bit of flavour on that last feature.
70.5 though. Do you think the as first rider in, that's hurt him? I think because that's a really strong run. Maybe the 10 was a touch light, but the judges are keeping their powder dry on that score.
Exactly. There's a few places he can improve, but yeah, they've gone conservative there.
Okay, defending champion Sean Fitzsimmons won in 2022. Let's see what he's got here in 2023. I feel like he got a 12th at slope in Beijing at the Olympics. We just haven't seen that same form from him yet.
Exactly, but maybe he'll be able to bring it back here. Similar to Mons there with the front side 2 on 2 off. Cabin on board side pretzel, exact same top section actually from Mons.
He's like,
maybe
whatever Mons does.
Notes.
I've seen this in skate comps before when you have a park comp and people just literally go in and say, I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but better.
Yeah, that was switch backside 12, and he's done exactly the same run so far, except for he's done the triple 14, where Mons did the flat 14, and he's upped it with backside 14.
Oh, but it's cost him with a hand down.
Yeah. There's 50-50 front one. And switchback rodeo, nice, but I have to say I do think I prefer Mons' butter that he's got. It's a little bit more creative than Sean's switchback rodeo.
Well, the frequency that the tricks are coming at, Mons was busy all the way through. Disappointment for Sean Fitzsimmons. Now Sven Thorgren.
Opting for this elbow rail. Switch backside tail, continue to. That's such an inconsistent trick for most riders. It's so dangerous to do at the top of his run.
You're going through the bend the wrong way.
And then that cab one, almost nollie backside rodeo off. He's taking a very different line to the other riders so far. Cab 12 nose grab.
That was stunning, wasn't it?
Perfect.
Reaching out from between the feet with the grabs, mixing it up.
But he's taking his foot off the gas a little bit there with the front side 10. Still nice though, keeping it solid. And there's the signature Sven backside 14 stalefish.
Love those. One of the few riders who can really smash out flat spins.
But I have to say that was nice and really big, and the judges will be looking at how far he's going down that landing, but just a straight pop up the first section, you know, the They can't ignore that, can they?
And the tough thing with Sven is, you can go back to the US Open in 2015, 2014 even, and you're going to see that back rodeo nose grab.
It's been a signature trick for so long, really, isn't it?
And I know that feature's hard, but... So, Judd Heynckes in the mix.
Oh, nice. Opting for a bit more of a creative line with that 50-50 gap board slide. Coming and switch now. Cab 2 on 2 through that waterfall. That's really tough to be in his board side position through the waterfall.
He made that look so smooth.
Front side 12 melt. That's a bit of a new one, I think, from Judd. I've not seen him do that too many times.
Really coming over the top of the cork at the end of it as well.
Yeah, lovely switch backside 12 into the third jump. Winding up backside. Easy as backside 14. You do them.
Okay, now we come to the decider, the pinball multiplier. Lovely. I tell you what, rodeo is definitely the flavour of the day coming off that big lily pad.
Yeah, very much. But I think the judges will be looking at what riders are doing up onto the lily pad to
big
really
score
separate
as well,
them.
82.25. Now, Leon Wockensberger always does well in LAAX.
Front side 2 on top. A lot of riders have been opting for that so far. It is a little bit of a safer option, but it is working. Cab on back 5 there from Leon.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Little point of difference for the judges as well.
Keeping it clean. Switch backside 12. Very good.
Where's he going to go?
Front side 10. So there's been a few riders who have that big first jump and then maybe ease off in the second or third. But lovely backside 14. Opted just for the mute grab. We do know he's got a really nice gorilla that he does sometimes, but maybe he'll be hoping to save that for finals. And then a front one up. Cab under flip off.
Well, the interesting thing here is how we're going to take where that bubble's going to sit and whether you can afford to let a 10 slip into your run. Like Leon's got punished there, 68.5.
Yeah, it's really going to be tough for the rest.
Ryoma Kimata, this kid is on an absolute tear this year. Came off his first World Cup podium in Kreisberg at the Big Air, and he's just as devastating on the rails.
I was lucky enough to see him a little bit early season in Stubai, and he was, tearing the jumps apart. It was ridiculous. Really strong top section up there, linking it into switch backside 12 on the first jump.
Dude, he was clapping his hands together there, wasn't he? Getting himself ready for this.
Front side triple 40. He's got those so perfectly. And this is usually the direction that he struggles with a little bit more, but putting it down, no problem. Backside 16. That's by far the hardest jump section we've seen so far.
Miles, light years ahead of everyone, and a lovely front 5 melon to finish. That is a big, big run. 93.25 for Ryoma.
At all. He had something on every feature for me. Even the the bottom section had that cab one on. It's risky, but yeah, he's pulled it off well.
Cam Melville-Ives, one of 2 twins. His brother Finn is a devastatingly good free skier as well. Finn in his first season of World Cups.
New on the slopestyle. Oh, very nice board side under flip off. It's hard to do it on one of those more flatter cannon rails, but he's held it very well. Cab 10. Coming in.
Second one.
Switch backside 12. Oh,
Nice,
tiny
tiny correction, but I don't think the judges will hurt him with that.
No, backside 12. He's clearing the jumps, which is the only thing I'd be nervous about. Sometimes speed can be tight between them here, but he's held it together. It's
front 7 to finish.
It's maybe not the prettiest and not as good as we know he can do, but it's a rundown.
So Sam Yaros, again, another rider who was in Kreisberg last weekend.
Yeah, displaying his cab 18 that he'd been perfecting early season, and it'll be good to see what he's got to the slopestyle course here.
He got some pop out of that, didn't he? Wang!
Nice cab 14 on the top jump.
That's a big number, and that's what we're looking at through these jumps now. We've seen that with the judges. It's an easy score for them.
12.60.
So a 14 and a 12.
Finishing it off with a 12 and just squeaking around, but his hands are down. And it's not going to be enough.
Oh, and he knows the standard. Oh, lovely lawn dart tuck knee, and the hands are on the head. He knows that was so close. He had the right numbers, but he just couldn't lay that third jump down. So, Francis Jobin.
Coming in, switch back 2 on, bring back. That is the most inconsistent trick, and it's unbelievable that he does that every single time. Absolutely perfectly. Board side 270 tail grab, a little bit more straightforward there for him, but
again, you know on the overall impression that tail grab's going to work well.
Backside 1260, setting up switch backside. Looks like he'll be mirroring it. Yep, switchback 12.
Oh, bolts as well, but he wasn't looking in the direction of travel. There was a tiny bit of hit and hope there.
But he's carried good speed. He's got that front 14 down to a small hand touch, but not too much pressure on it, so I doubt there'll be too much of a dock there in the points. Front one out and switchback side rodeo off.
There we have it again. I think the switchback rodeo is the new black. That's definitely the most fashionable
Everyone
trick
seems
off.
to be going for it.
Okay, Cam Spalding out of Canada.
One of the young Canadians. It's good to see, you know, we've not got Max Pro this year, we've not got Seb Toots. It's good to see some of the new Canadians coming through.
Well, it feels like that definitely with Canada and Norway at the moment. They're blooding new talent, aren't they?
Yeah, we've had a few riders, a few of the older riders maybe take a few contests off, and it's been good to see a little bit more.
Was that a triple grab? I think he went nose, melon, mute.
Following up with backside 12, melon.
Looking very solid on this.
And finally, cab 14, a little bit underrated, but still getting away with it. What's he got for the final section for us? Board side to switch and switch backside. That's really tough.
Oh
no!
So
And it was so
32.25, but hopefully, let's have a look at this. Goes in melon.
Keeping his composure. Easy for him.
Oh, I'd love to have seen that triple attempt on the slow-mo again. Okay, we've said it before, I'll say it again. The true renaissance man of snowboarding right now. Big air finals, slopestyle finals, half-pipe finals. What can't Valentino Guseli do on a snowboard? We're about to find out, I think.
Whoa, chicane off of the flat bar. Crazy coming in now.
Big front 14.
Setting up backside for the backside 12 stalefish, but a little bit short there.
Yeah, well, we've seen a few people doing that now.
Yeah. Oh, switchback 12 tail grab.
And he knew he didn't have enough speed. He measured that perfectly, didn't he, considering?
Yeah. And the classic switchback rodeo we've seen a lot of, but with the tuck knee grab, it's, you know, that's what's going to stand him out against the rest.
That was the jewel in the run, wasn't it? 75.25. A lot of daylight right now between Ryoma Kimata and the rest of the field. I think he's got 10 points on everyone. Closest competitor on 82.25 behind him, I think. So, Valentino Guseli, solid run, but he's got a nervous weight, I feel. Now, Gabriel Almqvist out of Sweden. Oh, lovely toes 270 hard way onto that.
Bringing it back. Linking it into the front side 2 on. 450 off. A nice strong top rail section. Lovely backside tempo. We don't see many of them at the moment. It's mostly 12s and the 14s that we're getting. So.
He had a proper kind of toes on the nose
and
style
he was,
coming out.
He was searching for that grab, and I don't think he managed to get it on the front side 12, but he's still going. Switch backside 14, just squeaking it round.
Oh, that is really, really big.
Going for the straight pop-up option. A Todio method, was that?
Todio method bring back, wasn't it? Wow, 55, not the score he was looking for. Noah Victor out of Germany.
Setting up for the first rail switch, opting for that elbow rail, switch back blunt to 70.
It's lovely, but Sven Thorgren's already thrown some shade on him up there.
He really has. Cab 1 on, back 5 off. Into this first jump. Classic cab 12 that Noah's got. Really nice the way he gets that end and tweaks the tail out. Oh, front 10, but that was really uncharacteristic from Noah. He's usually good at holding that front side grab.
It was a little bit telegraph pole on the way out, wasn't it?
Backside 10 melon.
Drifting over to this right-hand side, 50-50, front 1.
And the switch backside 5-10. I must say, Mons really kind of set the standard with that butter at the start, and now it feels a little bit disappointing seeing the rest.
I mean, that was a solid run with a 42 on it. The judges are being so stingy with this.
Oh, a nice transfer there from Nash.
How much pop did he have off the rail as well?
Yeah. 180 on, 540 off.
Oh, and he snapped into the tail grab.
Cab 99, don't see many of those.
No, that really does feel a little light, doesn't it, these days?
Weak, yeah. Front side 10.
He's got an amazing ability to slow and accelerate his spins in the air.
He almost cats out no matter what. Backside 14, just sitting down on it.
Oh, disappointed. I really like his style. It's really different to everything else we've seen.
It's really skatey. You know, he's very agile on his board. And he's got the double grab there, the truck driver.
Okay, so 26.5 for Naj Mecking. Next in, Nicolas Laframboise. Big air specialist usually, but yeah, he can mix it up on the rails.
And he's been off with injury for a long time, so this is his first kind of little run of contest, so it is good to see him back.
Had a decent showing in Edmonton as well, didn't he, at the big air?
Yeah. Switch backside double roll. What?
Oh!
That's completely new for Nick. I've never seen that from him before. Frontside triple.
Oh,
into tail press. Not holding on to it. You can see it in his body language where he's gutted.
Okay, Nick van der Velden.
Another one who's been battling with injuries a little bit, but he's back. He's riding strong.
Well, when he's riding strong, it's on,
But
off
that's
early.
a classic for Nick. He's always trying the most technical rail tricks, and when it's so easy for it to fall apart early in the run from him.
Super high speed switch 50 through that waterfall as well. That was lovely.
But he's going to push on with the run backside 12 tail grab. Into the switchback 12 tail grab, mirroring those tricks perfectly. Setting up frontside now for the final jump. Frontside 14, frontside grab. What's he going to give us in the final feature? Front one on. Cab on, flips in. Devastating to see such a good bottom section, but the first feature biting him there.
Another man who's been finding his mojo this last year. Oh!
Such a nice line as well into that cab 2 on 4 off, but just not managing to hold it.
Oh, he's going to enjoy himself now. This is going to be an absolute treat.
Well, similar to what we saw from Nick, the switch backside 12 tail grab.
The composure in the air is just glorious, isn't it?
It is really incredible. Frontside 1080, just holding on to that, digging that toe edge in to make sure he doesn't revert.
It truly is one of slopestyle snowboarding's Rolls Royces.
And linking it into the backside triple 14.
It's such a shame that he hasn't been able to put that one down. A little bit tail heavy going into that as well, wasn't he? Dancing with the devil on that last feature. 61 for Darcy Sharp. Such a shame we're not going to see him in the finals. Øyvind Kirkhus out of Norway, one of that new generation of Norwegian slayers you were talking about, Matty.
Yeah, he's so exciting to be watching right now. And with seeing, you know, the likes of Torgeir Bergrim and Stally maybe taking a bit more of a back seat in contest at the moment, he's really had an opportunity to shine. And I'm looking forward to seeing what run he's got here. Strong on the top rails and lovely back 12 to start off the jump section, linking it into the cab. 14 rather.
Snap that in.
And finishing the jump section off with the switch backside triple 14. I did see him do a switchback triple 12 earlier in the season, which I was almost hoping he was going to give us there, but
Here comes the icing. Go on.
the Toadie 07.
Beautiful run there from Øyvind Kirkhus. 72.75, so just above countryman Mons Roysland. Casper Wolf out of the Netherlands now.
Another rider, sorry, the third one, who's now coming back from injury. I was speaking to him earlier. He's only been riding for, I think, 2 weeks after a broken clavicle, so I think he's just going to be happy to be in the start gate again. Nice.
I always remember Travis Rice's quote that he's a good snowboarder, but he's incredible at recovering from injuries. Is his quote. That's half the game
Half
these
the battle
days.
as a snowboarder, isn't it? Nice 12.6 to the top.
Good speed as well. He's going to go deep on this.
Lovely backside 10.
It's like the message has probably come back from Nick, like, send it deep.
Yeah.
We've seen and it was actually his undoing, wasn't it? He could have saved that if he'd been a little lighter on the pace.
Shorter, he would have been able to get his toes in, but it just didn't go his way this time.
Okay, Martin Leysa out of Switzerland on home snow. What's he got?
Hardway 2 onto that top feature.
He'll know this part like the back of his hand, won't he?
Exactly. Front blunt 4, slightly simple on the top rails, but he's gotten through them. Switch backside 12, little tail press there, but he's held it.
Maybe he meant it. Oh, a bit short on that one.
Speed's definitely going to be a bit of an issue now, but
you can see with the little bit of snow that's coming through, there's a headwind as well, isn't there? So struggling for speed, Martin Leysa.
Cab one up.
48. So Stian Kleveland out of Norway.
Another one of these younger riders from Norway who are really being able to have the opportunity to make their mark a little bit more in the slopestyle.
Well, we always see it the year after the Olympics.
Yeah.
Federations start giving those new young riders.
And Stian has been, it's not like he's new to World Cups, but maybe he hasn't been doing the events like the LAAX Open, the really big ones, so it's good to see him have the opportunity to show what he's got here with that switchback 1260. coming into the final feature.
Getting a hold of that one.
Frontside 14, fighting it a little bit to get around, but riding it away.
Really was. Got a fist in the snow as well.
A double toe side barrel. I was just about to say another one of those straight jump ups, but that double toe side barrel really standing out amongst the field.
61.75 for Stian Kleveland. Now, Hiroto Ogiwara, another one of these incredible Japanese snowboarding machines. They're punching out, like, there was one stage, I think, in Kreisberg where we had top 4 riders Japanese.
Yeah.
They are so strong at the moment.
Yeah, especially on jumps, but they're definitely no slouch on the rails either. Nice switchback 12 there.
Took a bit of work to hold on to it. Let's see if it hasn't cost him any speed either.
14. Look at that the way he gets his toes into the snow is incredible there. Backside 14.
It was proper Michael Jackson to slow that spin down, wasn't it? He's carrying some speed here as well.
Cab double 9 off the final feature. That's insane.
Look at the pressure he built on that toe edge as he exploded into that. 88.5, closing the gap on countryman Ryoma Kimata. Clemens Millauer in there now.
Hardway frontside 2 on.
A little bit of a leaf. We haven't seen many people taking on that elbow.
No, it's not the more popular feature, but I think that is because it's just so difficult to get around that bend. It's so inconsistent for the riders. Nice switchback 12 there from Clemens.
Lovely landing spot midway through, wasn't it?
Classic frontside 14 tail grab, fighting on the front foot a little bit there, but riding through clean. And backing up with the backside double 14 nose grab, which we've not seen many. It's more been the triples today, but it's good to see Clemens bringing something a little bit different, and a switchback 5 down there to finish off the run.
Well, that's it, what they call in sales unique selling point, and Clemens had a couple of those. 79.5, really strong score. Now it's the turn of Nicola Liviero out of Italy.
Cab 2 on, bring back. Regular at the Livigno Snow Park, not far from LAAX, but also spends plenty of time here. The board side front flip nose grab out, was that?
How do you get into that?
Insane.
So easy to put your toe edge into that rail.
Nice back 12 in the first jump, linking it into the switch backside 12 melon grab.
I was just about to say, I love his style between each of the features. He's got a really surfy, playful style.
Yeah.
Oh,
but he's just
gutted
lost
for him.
it.
That was really good fun. I was really enjoying that. Okay, Emile Zulian, another of these young Italian riders.
Front one on. Cab throughout again, opting for that elbow rail.
Really nice and tech. The Italian's bringing some flavour today.
Switchboards at 70. Looked as if he was maybe wanting to get his hand on his board there, but not working this time. Front side 12. Whoa, I thought he'd overcooked that.
He's a little bit loose here, isn't he?
Into the cab 12, and it's not going to do it for Emil.
Even if he'd put that together, there were just a couple of things that the judges, they were going to pounce
he
on
was
it.
landing the tricks, but not quite the way the judges want to see.
Okay, Jesse Parkinson. Had a long chat to his dad down in New Zealand this summer. He's special forces. You don't want to mess with Jesse. Such a strong rider. Really, really lovely style, and he made a lot of hay while the sun was shining in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
Oh, no! Gutted for him. Got a really bright future. Tiger Hasegawa. This man, the snowboarding tumble dryer, 18s on lock in every direction. He made short work of the finals in Kreisberg.
Yep. Let's see what he's got in the slopestyle course here. Cab 2 on, 2 off.
No pop off that rail though.
No. And a backside 12, nice and big though. The judges will be happy to see that. Linking it into his cab 14, easy.
It's going so fast.
When he's so used to doing the 18s, it really must be nothing for him to be spinning these 14s.
Snow Snake jumped up and bit him. Where did that come from?
No way. That came out of absolutely nowhere.
Billy Cockrell out of the UK.
Let's see what he's got for us. Nice cab on, 2 off. Keeping it consistent and stable. Linking it into a front one on, switch back 3 off. Bit of a staple for Billy's runs.
Looking really tidy up top.
Pushing into the cab 12 mute. That's a new one for him. Fighting the landing a little bit, but holding on. Nice frontside 10 there. Onto the bottom jump, winding up backside for the backside triple 14 indie grab, very nice.
Did well on that one.
Into the final feature, board side up, switch backside 5, little shifty at the end.
Yeah, he did give it a little bit of a rewind, didn't he? 58.75 for Billy Cock. Oh! So these are the top qualifiers. Ryoma Kimata leads with Hiroto Ogiwara just behind him. Justus Henkes, Sven Thorgren, Clemens Millauer and Valentino Guseli rounding out the top 6. So into the second heat with William Matheson out of Sweden.
Well, he made a really big push last season. He had a lot of really good results into making a lot of finals across slopestyle events. It's going to be good to see what he's got here with the front 2 on, 4 off, heading into this first kicker here. Cab triple.
Oh, and he fell out of the sky. It was a proper bomb drop into the landing.
Slowing things down a bit with the frontside 10 melon. And on this third jump, run-of-the-mill backside 14 mute grab. But executed perfectly. And a nice toe side barrel to finish things off.
That was lovely. He was tempting us, or wasn't he? You didn't actually know whether he was going to go 5 or whether he was going to hold it there. Beautiful. Okay, one of the strongest outfits in the game today, Marcus Kleveland.
Oh, nice. A hard way front 2 on, bringing it back to switch. That's such an awkward trick. His signature 2 on, underflip 450 off that he's really pioneered in slopestyle runs. Linking into a switchback 12, coming in. Oh, into the double no-dio, we're calling it?
I call it a no-dio, just because it's off the nose there. It's almost a toe-dio.
It's such a unique trick, and it really is what makes Marcus stand out from the rest of the field.
Tiny little hand down there, and we saw in Heat 1 how much the judges were punishing that, but he got busy on that last feature. 89.25.
The judges like it, despite that little bit of inconsistency through the last jump. Overall, they were obviously down with the run.
Well, so many, like Cleveland's got so many unique points. Liam Brierley.
Nice board side pretzel there. Coming in switch now. Cab 2 on, 4 off. It's so tough through that waterfall to be able to hold it.
Buttery smooth through that spin out as well.
Switch back 1260. Nice, linking it into the backside 12, into the final jump switch. Cab 12, very nice.
Good numbers on the kickers if you're just counting those. Let's see if you can just polish it off with something here. It was good. It was really, really solid.
And you'd say it was solid, exactly. A little bit pedestrian maybe at the bottom, but...
I'm going to go out on a limb here, though, and say, oh, look at that. Beautiful toe side carving there. I do think the judges have upped the scoring bracket.
Yeah.
Like, this is a separate heat. They're only being judged in the realm of this heat.
Yeah,
they're not comparable.
They've rescaled, and this is how
they have, totally, haven't they? They've rescaled. Lion Farrell having a really lovely surge at the moment. He's riding so beautifully.
Lovely cab 1 on, back 5 off. And this will be his first contest of World Cup slopestyle under the Kiwi flag, isn't it? Having competed for the US in previous seasons.
And I always feel like they're very different models. Like, there's so much strength in depth in the US team. Not that there isn't in the Kiwis, but it's a slightly more nurturing environment, less cutthroat.
It feels a little bit more compact. And that's a shame for Lion. He was having a good run up until that point, but just sitting down on the backside 14. Melon, front 1 up. Cab 5 indie down. That's a real shame for Lion. It was a strong run up until that point, but it just wasn't to be.
40.25, disappointing for the Mauan. Is that what you'd call someone from Maui? Mark McMorris, Sparky's in the house. Everyone sits up and takes notice. Canadian, I would say the apex predator of the slopestyle world at the moment. What can't this man do on a snowboard?
Solid top section. Into that switch backside 12, which it feels like we've been seeing for 10 plus years now at the LAAX Open. Into his frontside 14.
Oh, just over the nose on that. So uncharacteristic.
So strange.
He's got those on rails normally.
Yeah. Yeah, look, he was just a little bit over, but usually gets his toes in and holds it, but he was just too far over his front foot there, and it popped him out. And that is unfortunate.
I can't believe that we're not going to see Mark McMorris in the final. So Jacob Legault out of Canada.
Another one of this new breed the Canadians have been bringing through.
Gap out 278.
Boardside pretzel too, very nice. A little bit more straightforward on the rails, but getting things done.
He looks like he's got a bit of the Dusty Hendrickson about him, doesn't he, with that lazy steez.
Nice cab 12. Frontside grab at the top into frontside 10. Coming to his final jump. Lovely backside 14 with the melon grab. Finishing things off, 50-50 front 1, switch backside 5. A solid run, I'd say.
Really, really tidy from Legault. And you could see his body language as he rode out. Okay, Red Gerard. Another one of those big names. Lovely first rail.
Switch backside 2, bring back. As I said before, such an inconsistent trick. Almost unimaginable for most riders to put that into a slopestyle run.
Unless you grow up with a park in your backyard.
Yeah, that will help you a little bit. Switch backside 12 from Red there on the first jump. Linking it into frontside 14 tail. A lot of the time we see him do that with frontside grab. Cool to see him.
Is he going to dust off the 16? Yes, he is.
I think. Oh, no, he's not. He's held it to 14.
The 16 works so hard for him. He's obviously keeping his powder dry for finals with that.
Yeah, I wonder if he's looked at the rest of the field and thought, actually, I think the 14 is going to be enough. I don't need that extra bit of risk. You know?
78.75 at the moment. I'd say that's pretty safe score,
Yeah,
but might be a nervous wait.
For sure.
Brock Crouch in the mix. Strong part in Arc this year. I really enjoyed it. Really good translation of his riding skills onto natural terrain.
He's really been pushing it into the backcountry a lot more, despite, you know, that accident he had a few years ago in the Avalanche. But it's good to see him in the slopestyle course again, putting down that switch backside 1080 after a solid top rail section, linking it into a cab 12 nose grab, a bit flatter than we see from a lot of the other riders, and finishing the jump section off with a backside 14 melon, just dipping that last cork over. That was tight.
It was late, wasn't it?
It was. Board side up, front side 7 down. Very nice.
Still got it on the, once he pulls the bib on, he's still got it.
Yeah.
76. Just in behind Red Gerard. That's going to be very tight. I likened this man to the Terminator during the New Zealand winter. He is so consistent and such an incredible rail slayer. Tian Collins had a great, I think he qualified second here last year.
I wouldn't be surprised. He is really strong. He's got such a stocky style. You see it as a really strong skater as well, and you see it in his skating too. Good top section. Squeaking around that switch backside 12, maybe not as big as Tian would have liked to have had, but the run goes on into the backside 12, Melon, into his final jump. Oh, the cab 14 double nose grab.
He put that one
classic
together this in the off season.
Switchboard side up, and the butter 540 down. See, almost similar to Mons's run from earlier.
Yeah, very similar. And an 82.25. That tells us everything we need to know about the rescaling of the judges' scores. Big score for Tian Collins, though. Mikko Renberg out of Finland. A nation that's had so many strong slopestyle.
Oh, a nice transfer rail at the top.
Super tech.
Yeah, we've not really, there's been the opportunity to get a bit more creative at the top, but a lot of people just opting for the more straightforward down bars and stuff. So it is good to see Mikko getting a bit more creative. Switch backside 12 on that first jump.
think with a couple of days, though, everyone's going to go to work on that and try and build there. That's the key part.
I think a lot of the riders, especially the more experienced ones, are wanting to just get through qualifications, and when it comes to finals, that's when we're going to see some more creative lines, especially at the top.
Well, there's so much strength in depth, isn't there? You've got like 50+ riders in qualies now.
Yeah. Unfortunate run there for Mikko, just going down on that last jump.
We'd put a hand down a little earlier as well, so I think he was always going to struggle there. Takeru Otsuka, absolute destroyer of worlds when it comes to slopestyle courses.
Lovely transfer cab to on, gapping on that down flat down. Back one on Cabby. That is so tough to be going that fast and being so precise to land into that switch 50-50 completely blind from the back one. That's so tough. Linking it to the cab 12, a little hand touch there, but I don't think that will affect his score too much.
No, it kind of looked more like a carve, didn't it? Oh, back seat though on that one. That will affect it.
Into the front 14. Looked like he went a little bit early. It's as if he was a bit off balance, a bit shaken by the earlier jump, and he managed to ride it away clean, but it wasn't quite the usual tacker that we see.
Ooh, Couple of holes in this run, 62.75.
Yeah, the judges-
Definitely not the score the Japanese were looking for out of that run. So top 6 going through. Rene Rinnekanga's on fire.
Man of the people. Back to on 2 off.
The Finnish prince going to work on this course.
Switch board side to 70, keeping it fast to that rail section.
That style, those big condor arms.
Into the switch backside. Double rodeo tail grab.
How did he bring that round? No business.
Insane. Backside 1260. I thought he was almost under rotating there, but he had it measured perfectly for that landing. And the cab 40-40, I was a bit scared almost he was going to go a bit safe there and go for 12, but taking it to 14, switchboard side up.
He just doesn't do safe.
Todio
Beautiful
5 off there.
Todio 5,
Lovely
and the
little
hand
poke
goes
as
up.
well.
81.25, that feels light to me. Judges, take a good long hard look at yourselves. That was a fantastic run. Now it's the turn of the Frenchman, Enzo Valentino.
Into this first feature front 2 on 2 off.
It's amazing to say, but that's pretty standard these days, isn't it?
And then the switchboard side too. 2 relatively simple.
Well, we've seen so many 450s.
Yeah. But he's picking things up now into the jump section. That switch backside 1260, setting up front side.
Big number here will put him in the mix again.
Front side 14.
Very tidy.
Into the final kicker. Backside triple 14. Such a strong jump section, but it can't be ignored. He's definitely gone a little soft on the rails, and even that final feature, just the board side up and then a toe side barrel down. It's nice and it was well executed, but you know, when you're looking at some of the other riders, it's
78.25. He's level with Red Gerard. Emiliano Lauzzi, the Italian, had a fantastic showing at the Olympics, and he's got some big air smarts as well. So the rails are going to be key here.
Yeah, 2 on, 2 off at the top into switch front blunt.
He's
450.
Took that one deep off the 450 as well.
Cab 12.
Plenty of speed. Little bit of deck chair back seat there.
Into the front side 1080.
It's looking really smooth, but maybe a little light on that 10.
And a backside 40. I think he wanted 16 there.
Yep.
And he was fighting a little bit going round. Zero spin
the
up.
upper body was 16, the lower was 14.
Yeah, it just wasn't for him.
Okay, let's see what that score is on Lauzzi. 53.5. Definitely not what the Italian wanted. Seppe Smits, the Belgian.
Veteran of the field, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be offended by that at all.
Lovely 2 on 2 off at the top. Into switchboard side to 70.
Still got it.
Setting up switch backside. Switch backside 12. Yeah, he really is, you know, holding it down against the rest of the younger riders that are coming up. Backside 12.
Let's see, where's he going? He knows he's got to swing big here.
And it's gone for the 12. 3 12s. It's nice to have that consistency across the board with spins, you know, not dropping down to any 10s, but I think the judges are looking for 14s at this point, if not 16s.
And as crowd pleasing as it is, the laid out backy off the final feature, you've got to score there. You can't throw that away.
Yeah. You know, and it's hard for the riders because, you know, the nerves are at their highest there, but yeah, it wasn't the best for Seppe.
Heartbreak for Luke Winkelmann last year when he missed out on the Olympics with US team selection last year. Oh, yes, Luke.
Stalling that board side press out into this first jump. Backside 1260, nose grab. Flawless. Linking it into the switch backside. 1260 Weddle grab. And finishing off his jump section, setting up front side with the 14 tail grab. Nicely held. Pushing through his heels a little bit there. Just this last section to negotiate. Board side up, cab under, flip down.
Tidy, tidy run, and it's going to be good enough for qualification, I think, because we're coming into the back end. It's going to take something special. I think we've got another 13 riders to go, so top 6 places are hard fought at the moment. Chris Corning with some work to do.
Backside 2 on to that first rail. I have to say, Chris has been maybe the rider that's had me the most excited this season, because he's completely transformed his riding style on the jumps. Switch back 1260 there. He's been up against it. He's been known as one of the riders that does more corks and in the past, and he's had to go down the flat spinning route a bit more there, but he's not even given us the opportunity to see it on that last jump.
Oh, the frustration. I tell you what, though, he's got me excited about outfit colours. I've never seen mustard and lilac together. It's a fantastic combo, I think. Jury's still out. Narcis Soleras out of Spain. See what the man's got.
So he's been putting in a lot of work early season. I saw him up the mountain in Stubai every day, throwing 16s, 18s. He's really wanting to compete with the bigger names here, coming into this first jump backside.
Weird, isn't it?
12.
Like, I think the visuals as well, we've got that kind of blizzarding conditions through the middle here and blue sky and sun just out of the way, so the contrast is really, really hard to ride in at the moment.
Back-to-back 12s into frontside 10 on the final jump, which is a bit surprising. I was expecting a 14 from Narcis there, but 180 up, 540 down.
Oh,
it was a
he's
run down.
stoked with it, but the judges, yeah.
I think there was maybe just a few inconsistencies there that they weren't happy.
Jakob Bruns out of Czech Republic.
Another rider who's kind of shot up through the ranks over the last few years, I'd say. Nice cab one back there. He's got lovely style on him.
That was so lazy, wasn't it?
Almost reminds me of, oh, backside double rodeo.
A little bit of Rene Rinikangas
Really,
coming out
it's
there.
nice to see so many more of them being put down in slopestyle runs. Lovely cab 12 gorilla grab.
Yeah, I was going to say,
both hands on the toe edge there.
he could have given us a glimpse of the stiffy there.
To the backside 1080 melon. Finishing off, shifty up.
Nose grab,
Nose grab.
front deep.
Can't help but feel like the run was left a little bit flat at the bottom.
You want to shake? I want to shake him and say, "Look, you've absolutely nailed this. Don't let it go there."
Come on, we need one final firework, you know, but
it's a really easy excuse for the judges.
yeah.
Sam Vermaat out of the Netherlands.
Back Tom, bring back classic from the Dutch. They spend so much time on indoor domes, riding rails. It really is their strong point. Board side 270 off.
With a frontside nose bone that Terrier would have been proud of.
Backside 1260, falling out the sky there.
Yeah, drop down onto his base. Really nice and clean.
Lovely switchback 12 there.
Oh, you actually saw him. He's like, yes.
And a frontside 40, that's another new one I've never seen Sam do that. Very
Really, really strong jump section, and the rails were tech.
50 front one, switchback rodeo, nice, big as well, a big switchback.
It was a
rodeo
tickle
there.
on the tail, but I think this score's going to be big. Oh, 76.25.
He's in the conversation, but it's tough.
Ruben Rosenfors out of Sweden. Lovely gap out to Pretzel 270.
Coming in switch. Cab one, fighting that front three off. It's tough to change the direction of spin there, but he really made it look tough as well, which isn't what the judges are looking for. He's picked things up again into the jump section with the backside 1260, linking it into the cab 9, missing the grab there. He looks a little bit off on his run now. Can he regain his composure into his final jump?
Oh, he was always backseat
Frontside
on that, wasn't he?
10, it just wasn't to be for him. It's so easy when you start to pick up those mistakes throughout the run for the whole thing to just fall apart a little bit.
Yeah. It just starts compounding itself, doesn't it? It's scratching away in the back of your head. Baldur Wilhelmsson out of Iceland.
This must be one of the first Icelandic riders we'd had since Mr. Haugesson.
I think so.
Nice
Heikki
front two
and
on,
Haldor.
4 off, yeah. Front board keeping a little bit conservative on that second rail feature.
Well, it was almost so big on the first one, wasn't it?
Switch backside 9 there.
Big as well. He's going deep, but he needs a bit more tech in here if
Yeah.
he's going to stick with the rest of the pack.
He's landing the tricks, but they're just not quite on par with the rest of the field.
See what he's got up here.
Front one up and cab 3 down. A landed run, but
Yeah, the 41 says it all there, doesn't he? Okay, Finn Bullock Womble. Best name in snowboarding.
nice front switch, front blunt. 2 out
Just
there.
feathering the accelerator on the way into that.
Wow,
barrel.
boosting off that second rail. Carrying his speed nicely into this first jump. Huge cab 12 tail and not able to hold
the
on the
reverb.
landing. He was just on a bit of an odd axis there, and as soon as you're in that kind of position, it's so tough to be able to get the landing gear down.
He's just floating through the rest of this. 13.5 for Finn Bullock Womble.
It's not his day today, unfortunately.
Okay, der nudist.
Mr. Hoover himself.
Late blossomer in snowboarding terms. Oh, he had to fight that one off.
Spent a lot of time shaping, I think, at the Corvatch Park in Silverplana. And
he had an absolutely banging season down in New Zealand as well this year.
Backside 14 nose grab. One of the few 14s we're seeing in that upper section. Linking it into frontside 1260. Falling at the sky a bit there, but still a clean landing. And for the final jump, cab 14 grabbing through the legs there into roast beef.
Oh, I was going to say, I couldn't work out whether it's Stelmarski or roast beef.
Switch backside nose slide into a switch back 5, and he's stoked!
Giving himself the chest beat there.
Nice. He's one of the riders you want to see in fight. He's exciting to see. He's a showman, I would say.
Exactly. That is the best description, 80.75. Lucas Frischert out of Austria.
Nice frontboard pretzel there. Maybe a little bit Zichi not quite getting it. His board perpendicular.
Didn't lock it perpendicular, did he? But that was nice. Really lazy.
Coming in switch to this first jump. Cab double 10. Nice.
Okay, he's got to start adding the numbers here.
Yeah, he's got the speed though. Switch back. Oh, he was looking for a 12 there certainly to get him riding out forwards, and he just didn't have that drop time that he was looking for.
Yeah, we've said it before, we say it again, it's simple numbers through the big kickers. Dusty, Henriksen, I think alongside René Rinnekangas, one of my favourite riders right
just
now.
So lazy the way that he rides through these slopestyle courses. Lovely boardside chicane off.
It just makes it's a different sport. He makes it look so easy.
Frontside 1260.
He was going front 16, wasn't he, in Kreisberg?
Another
all 3
12.
hits.
And finishing with the backside 14, a bit of a strange axis there, but holding it nicely. Boardside 270 and a toe deal down. The final section.
This has got to be big. 93.25. Yes, Dusty. Fantastic run there.
He's another one of the riders that the finals would feel empty without.
And there it is. First place for Dusty. Cleveland second. Winkelmann third. Tian Collins, Rinnekangas and Huber rounding out the top 6.
With a field that stacked, you know there's going to be some giant killing going on, but an immense finals lineup nonetheless. They're going live 1 p.m. on Saturday. Don't miss it. Now it's the turn of the ladies. All of the best of the action from their qualifiers. Anna Gass is in there, Tess Cody, Zoe Sadowski-Sinot, and some young guns to keep an eye on. Mary Fakada and Mia Brooks. This one is going to be good.
So one of the most decorated women in slopestyle and big air snowboarding, Anna Gasser, dropping in to the LAAX Open course for qualies.
Just coming off an incredible result in Kreisberg. First place there on a home slope.
She's got that back 10 double cork Japan, hasn't she? Which is working really, really hard for her. Tidy rails up top.
Into the jumps with a solid cab line nose grab. Moving into jump number 2. Very nice frontside 7.
Really settled, isn't she?
Yeah, she's just going through the motions really, isn't she? A backside 7. We know she can do a double cork there, and she's maybe in some slopestyles done it in the past for qualifications, but it looks like she feels she doesn't need it. Nice switchback 1.
Love it. There was that crossbone flavour, wasn't there, as she
Yeah.
brought that switchback 1 round.
Very nice.
Look at that big smile from Anna Gasser.
Very composed, classic Anna Gasser.
She's done exactly what she needs to do here. And I'd say with a run like that, qualifying standard, she's gonna, which obviously she's in first place now, but I reckon that's secured top 3. So she can really relax into that second run.
Exactly.
Okay, one of the most gifted female snowboarders out there. No matter the terrain, Zoe Sadowski-Sinot will slay it. Kiwi kicking off, nice board 270 out.
She's just as much at home on rails as she is on jumps. That front blunt 450, you see so few 450s from the women's field. It really does stand out when Zoe puts one down, linking it into a switchback
9, the baby sister of that switchback 12 we saw in Kreisberg last week.
Into the frontside 7, very, very smooth.
So you see in the 2 seasoned competitors in Anna Gasser and Zoe Sadowski-Sinot, literally they're in 3rd gear here. Just
they're
like
being so measured throughout this run. A little bit squirrely on that front one up with a cab one down, but yeah, in general, very tidy. run well within her ability.
Yeah, that's really, that's kind of 60% for Zoe. Lovely bit of afterbang on that last feature as well when she landed.
But it's funny looking, almost every one of her jumps she can up significantly for finals if she has to.
74.96, so second place tucking in just behind Anna. Business as usual for Gasser and Sadowski-Synnott. Mia Brooks, it is her first Slopestyle World Cup. She did her first Big Air World Cup in Kreisberg last week, so big couple of weeks for Mia Brooks.
She is very at home though on LAAX. She's been lapping this park for years now, basically her second home. She's been living in a camper van the last couple of seasons and opening up the rail section with incredible back one on cab 3 off. It's just so easy for her.
So buttery, isn't it?
Lovely cab one on back 3, and that really does stand out within the women's field. Those two 180 on 360s off. Nice 7 there on the first jump. Coming in with a backside 900, very nice Mia.
Really tidy. And if you've been watching Mia's riding over the years, backside might have been a weaker direction of spinning, but you wouldn't guess it from her performances in Kreisberg and now here.
For sure. A nice cab 9 in the final jump. 180 up, 180 off. To
Beautiful run. Really solid run. See Henry Jackson getting animated about that one. Look how cool she is. Couple of thumbs up.
She'll be stoked with that, I'm sure. She's definitely been looking to, I think she was hoping to be able to enter LAAX Open last year, but just missed out because her birthday falls around this time, so.
Yeah, she was 16 yesterday. 81.56, Mia Brooks moves into first. Junior world champion with a dream start to her LAAX Open. Now, Mari Furcada, I watched her riding in New Zealand in the Southern Hemisphere this last winter gone, and she is so tidy. Won her first World Cup in Copper in the Big Air.
Yeah, we've not been able to see much of her on the rails though, but a nice top section there. Now coming into jump number 1. Very smooth backside 7.
Big as well, sent that one deep.
Link into the front side underflip. Finishing off the jumps with a switch backside. And then, a little bit squirrely there on the landing, but holding it together. Front and off. Oh, and a cab 3 down. That's
double grab.
One of the first women we've seen with a 360 down from that butter section. So that's something else that's going to stand out. Massive smile on her face.
Yeah, really excited about that one. She is so softly spoken, it's not funny. I tried to interview her twice and I'd say, Mary, how was that run? She is lovely. Very happy with that. 68.95. So tucking behind Zoe and Anna, and of course Mia Brooks, who's leading at the moment. Hayley Langland, incredible front 7 on the cover of Slush magazine. She's been killing it in the backcountry. She's back on the slope course now.
Lovely backflip to start things off into a cab 1 back 3. Really strong rider across rails and jumps. Back 5 mile, that's a bit different for her. Usually we see her going for an empty grab there, but setting up now cab. There's that cab 9 frontside grab coming into the final jump.
Cab's always, I feel like cab, she's got that cab 10 and cab's always been her strongest rotation.
Yeah, I feel like a long time ago now that she put down that cab double 10, I think, at X Games. Yeah, they really made a bit of a statement for her. But another clean run there from top to bottom.
Beautiful cloudburst as well.
There's that back 5 melon. New one that we've not seen so much of, and I'm sure she's got a back man she can.
Yeah, 100%. Again, boxing clever, 4th place. So 71.01. Sharka Pankachova.
One of the few athletes we've got doing pipe and slopestyle.
She absolutely loves snowboarding. She's so passionate about riding. Beautiful little board slide pretz.
Cab, switch board side to 70. And she's not as if she's been, just keeping up with the tricks she's been doing in the past. She has been adding new ones. Lovely cab man there. We saw her with a back 10 earlier in the season, which, it was incredible. Pushing down to front side 7 on the second jump.
Well, she's doing the work. If you stay fit, strong and flexible, then there's no reason why you can't. Nice.
Bit of a short grab though, is it?
Yeah. Well, for a second I thought she was coming in for a Delmarsky. Oh, a little tickle there. Came up a tiny bit short on the drop down. But that was the only hole in an otherwise very strong run. See that, where that puts up. It's going to be really interesting.
See, this is the thing. She had a nice back. Oh, it looks like she missed the grab there. She's reaching for it.
The rails were good.
And the judges won't be too stoked on that, but still a nice score.
Okay, 6th place for Sharka. Look at her! Look how stoked she is!
Fuck yeah!
At the moment, that's finals time. Big hug from Anagasa down there.
So sick, man. Great, now I'm not
Really, really stoked. Oh, jeez. She's got to be 34. Okay, Miyabi Onitsuka, owner of one of the smoothest cab 9s in women's slope and big air.
And one of the few cab 1260s we were able to see crash recently.
She very nearly got hung up on that first feature, though.
But she's also now boardside pretzel coming to this first jump, setting up cab.
Yeah, the kickers are definitely the ace in her hand.
Cab in the first one, pushing into the back 7 on number 2. She's going to round off this jump section. So front 7, very similar to what we saw from Anna and Zoe. Definitely moving at about 60%. She's got a lot still to add if she needs to.
But she looks quite loose. She doesn't have the same finesse for me here.
Not quite the same composure.
Yeah. So I don't think we're going to see anything mid to high 70s.
Yeah.
But
we know she's got front double 10, she's got cab 12, she's got back 10s and back 12s, I think. So for the jumps at the very least, she has in theory the most technical run. There's another look at that backside 7, getting a weddle grab on nicely.
So 71.08, 4th place for Miyabi Onitsuka. That pushes Kokomo Murasi out of the top spaces. So Reiwa Iwabuchi needs a 67.85. And you know she's got this. Last woman to drop. So it's proper last chance saloon. A lot of pressure on this run. Top 8 at the moment. Mia Brooks, Anagasa, Zoe Sinnott.
Opting for that far left. Down bar, nice front blunt 2. Nice 180 on, 180 off. A reasonably standard top section, I'd say, but she's off now. Front double 9. We've seen her do that front triple last year in the 9 session into the cab double 9.
So compact and composed in the air.
Finishing those things off, lovely backside step.
And she's so compact, you don't see it quite as much, but there wasn't a grab in there.
Nice one, easy down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes it's a bit of I feel like it's a Japanese style a lot of the time.
Lovely. There was just a hint of tailbone there. She was kind of poking the board up on that first cork. Waiting patiently. 72.3, it's 4th place. She moves ahead of Miyabi Onitsuka, and that means that Sharka Pankachova is in 8th, Mary Fakada 7th. That's qualification done, and how can you not watch finals on the basis of that? Can Mia Brooks do some giant killing with Zoe Sadowski-Sinnott and Anagasa? And that men's field is stacked to the gunnels. Finals go down tomorrow at 1:15 p.m. Go and check the LAAX website for all of the watch details. I'll see you there.